Hello, welcome back to the Craft Scraps. I am Lauren, and today we are making a memory box using the Cricut curved text feature. I bought this little memory box at Joann's, and my friend gave me the idea that when they got married, they had a box like this that they kind of put all of their mementos in. So I thought that was such a great idea. I wanted to personalize this, and so I thought it would be a great way to use the curved text feature because it's a round lid. All I did was I just personalized the lid just by putting our last name, but you could do a date or whatever you're personalizing. All you're gonna need is some vinyl. I use permanent vinyl, but you can use removable vinyl if you're more comfortable with that. And some transfer tape. I'm using Oracle clear transfer tape, but if you, whatever transfer tape you have will totally work. So I think that's it. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you always get notified when I post a new video. And I think that's it. So let's get started. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to come over here to the left toolbar and click on the text tool. So I'm just going to start out by making a text box, and before I do that, I'm going to come up to the font toolbar and choose my font. I'm going to search up here in the search bar because I already know the font I want to use. It's this Bibis New. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm not sure where I got this font from. I think I got it off DeFont. Not sure, but it's not a Cricut font. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to start out by just typing in the Schmalings. Alright, and so the letter space, I want it to be a little bit closer together, so I'm just going to come up here to the letter space and just put them a little bit closer together. Now for our curved text. So I'm just going to come up here to the curve, and this is how we can play with, so if we want it super duper curved or curved, so this is, I don't know what direction, it's going like down, and then this way it's going up. So I'm going to have it go back to 0 so it's back at that neutral point. So for mine, I'm going to have it curve down. So I'm just going to play around with it until I get to, it's kind of difficult to put something curved onto a curved surface because I can't really measure what like the radius of my circle is. I mean, there might be a way, but I don't have time for that. So I'm just going to kind of play around with it. And this looks pretty good. So I'm at about 9.32 or 9.33 if you round it. So one thing that can happen with fonts that aren't Cricut fonts is sometimes when you download them, they have like weird spacing. So this obviously is way too spaced out for my personal liking. So you can't, once you ungroup and weld back a font, you cannot curve it. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna, just for sake of this argument, I'm gonna ungroup this. Let's say I wanted to play around with it, and then I weld it back together. My curve function is now gone. So the reason I bring that up is because if I were to, let's put it back to 0, this space here is humongous, but I can't ungroup it, fix the spacing, and then weld it back together and curve it. I have to curve it first and then fix the spacing. So let's recurve our text. I think I was at about 9.33. So like I said, I want to fix this spacing here, and if you like it like this, that's totally fine. This is just a personal preference. That spacing is driving me absolutely insane. So I'm just going to come over here to ungroup. And so my main issue is just this I just want to bring it a little bit closer together. So this isn't a science or anything like that. And because it's curved, the more you mess with it, the more it's going to mess with that like perfect curvature. So I just want to play around with it. So I'm just going to bring it over a little bit. And I think I want to bring it over one more. And now, not only, so I just brought it over to the right, but now I also need to adjust it because you can kind of see this is now lower than this. So I'm just going to highlight my word again, and I'm just going to bring it up like a smidge. So now we have that little perfect curvature back, and we don't have that crazy space. So again, this is my personal preference. I'm just showing you kind of a little, it's not even a trick, it's just something I tried to do. I tried to change the spacing after I had curved, or before I had curved the text, and re-welded it, and it didn't work. So anyway, that might have been just like a word salad for you if you don't have that issue. But anyway, so I'm going to re-highlight this and weld it together. Oh my God, the construction that is going on at my freaking apartment right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's freaking insane. Anyway, so we're gonna come over here to make it. So we have our text right here. I'm gonna hit continue, and it's gonna find our machine. And I'm just gonna cut this on the regular vinyl setting. So I'm going to switch you guys over to the camera so you can see how we're going to make this. Alright, so I am going to be using this Oracle 651 permanent white glossy vinyl. So I'm just going to put it on my mat. So you could use non-permanent vinyl if you wanted to. If you wanted to make sure you could remove whatever vinyl you put on there. But I personally want to use permanent. So it's just personal preference. Alright, so our Cricut light is blinking, so we can load our mat. And cut. Alright, so we can unload our mat. Alright, so I'm just going to trim this so I have what I need and I can save the excess. Alright, the camera right now is acting crazy, so I hope this is focused. So I am just going to start weeding this. So basically, I'm just going to remove all of the excess that I don't need. The schmaling, so that will go here somewhere. Alright, so let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what we're doing here. So I think, I can't figure out if I want to do it like here or kind of off center, but either way, I'm going to be using this clear transfer tape because I want to get an idea of where exactly I'm placing this, and the masking transfer tape that I normally use that I absolutely love, this one here, it is kind of opaque, see-through, but it's not completely clear, so it's kind of difficult to get an idea of where exactly you're putting it. So I think this will be better, but 100% love my masking transfer tape better than this Oracle, but it's fine. It's fine. I still like it. It's just the masking is a little bit easier to work with, and you'll see what I mean. Alright, so I have that squeegeed on there. So now how I like to do this is I kind of like to peel off the backing, and it makes my life a little bit easier. Okay, of course this Oracle is working exactly how I want it to. So kind of defeats my point, but I guess that proves a point. Either one is fine. It just depends on your personal preference. Okay. So the difficult thing with this box in particular is this is a little bit off center, and it kind of tilts a little bit. So I'm just having a real hard time figuring out where I should put this. Alright, I'm just going to put it here and literally move on with my life. Okay, this is fine. Alright, so now I'm just going to scrape this down. Alright, and then just peel off the transfer tape as you normally would. And now we have our little memory box. Alright, I hope you guys found this helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, happy crafting from Mrs. Schmeling.